Hello everyone, I think many of you know what a huge marshmallow is. We cooked a lot of different things on a huge scale, so let's cook this too. One of the most important components of marshmallow is gelatin. Open up some bags and pour it into a bowl. Done. A total of 800 grams of gelatin turned out, but in order to able to work normally, we open up 3 liters of water. And pour in the gelatin. Stir. Literally after 2 minutes, it begins to swell. Also, for a huge marshmallow, you will need sugar. We open it up and pour out 8 kilograms into a bowl. You also need 2 cans of corn syrup, salt, vanilla extract, and 2 liters of water. All the ingredients are ready. Let's start making the marshmallows. A saucepan on the scales, and we shift the swollen gelatin. Namely 250 grams. Put this on the stove and stir constantly. The gelatin should melt. Done. Now we put the second saucepan on the scales and pour exactly 800 grams of sugar into it. Pour 200 milliliters of water in. And corn syrup. Add 320 grams. Put that on the stove. Bring to a boil and cook the syrup for 9 minutes. It should acquire a yellowish color. Meanwhile, pour the melted gelatin into the bowl of the mixer. Open the vanilla extract and add a couple of drops. Add salt and put it on the mix. The caramel is already ready. We put in a thin trickle into the mixer. The mass is quickly mixed, foamed and cooled. 10 minutes and we have a full bowl of dense foam. We will use a high saucepan as a mold. To prevent anything from sticking later, we spray the oil. And smear it around with a brush on all the inner walls of the pan. Also sprinkle with starch. That's it, you can pour in our first form. For the first portion, we install the bowl and do the same thing. And we need to redo this 6 more times. Fill the final layer. And level it out with a slide. Let the mass cool down for 10 hours. Our sweet substance has already set. Sprinkle some cornstarch on top so that it doesn't stick. And let's take out our huge marshmallow. Hooray, everything worked! Sprinkle with starch from all sides again. Look at how soft and spongy it turned out, just like a store-bought marshmallow. And it tastes even tastier, since there is no taste of chemical flavoring. Turn the marshmallow onto its side. We took a stick like this, sharpened it, and tried to put marshmallows on it to start a fire. But the marshmallow started to tear under its own weight. Therefore, we rejected this idea and decided to cut the marshmallows into convenient pieces for eating. Done. We got a lot of delicious homemade marshmallows. Hi everybody, I think that many of you have tried this kind of Kinder Bueno bar. Let's open it up. We're gonna make the exact same one, just in a big size. But first you need to try it. On the outside we have chocolate, then a waffle layer with nut paste, and then the cream itself, which is also pretty nutty. The first thing we need is a big, huge mold. Our dad's gonna make it for us from this huge pipe. Using a tape measure, we measure out a meter of 20 and mark it with a marker. From the side, we drill a hole with a screwdriver and then cut the pipe with a jigsaw. Now we're gonna draw along. and cut the pipe into exactly 2 parts. Now we will make a stand out of wood. To do this, we cut a large board into 2 parts, circle the outer diameter of the pipe, and cut it with the jigsaw. With sandpaper, we knock down all of the burrs. 2 such details are needed. We need a wide board to put between them, and tighten everything with screws. Two large semicircles were also carved out of wood, and 3 smaller ones, but at the same time they were twice as wide. We put half of the pipe on the stand, lubricate a large semicircle with glue, and put it into the pipe. Additionally, we fix them with screws. We put the missing parts in, and our form is ready. But in order to be used, we take some small half circles and wrap them with some cling film. Done. Then we lubricate our mold with some oil. We're going to smear it along the walls. And then glue down some parchment paper. Then we put everything back in its place. Let's start our cooking with the nuts. There are 20 kilograms of them here. We transfer them into a meat grinder. And grind them through a small nozzle. Now we'll need a mélange, sugar, and cocoa. We collect 1 kilogram of crushed nuts, then turn on the mélange and pour them in. By the way, at first while the mass is dry, it can stop. Therefore, we'll help it out. Then add in some sugar and cocoa powder. After about 40 minutes, we'll get a chocolate nut paste. Let's tilt our mélange and put all of the paste into a pan. Thus, we turn 10 kilograms of nuts into the paste. Done. Now let's make our dough for the waffles. We break 48 eggs into a big gastro pan. Add 3 kilograms of sugar. For taste, we'll use some vanilla sugar. And then we go to the butter. Cut off 1.5 kilograms and put it into a saucepan. Also add 1 kilogram of margarine. Let's put all this onto the stove. Melt and pour into our big catering pan. Let's whisk our mix until it's smooth. Now we just need to pour in 3 kilograms of flour. And then finally knead the dough. Done. We scoop it up with a spoon and put it into our waffle iron. We close them. And after 3 minutes, they're ready. You can get them out. And then we open up our nut paste and spread a thick layer onto the waffle. Then we glue it inside of the mold. We worked with like a conveyor belt really, and while one was making waffles, 4 waffle irons at once, the second was putting them into a mold until it was completely filled. Now let's go to the cream. We open up some bottled chicken eggs and pour them into a bowl. There are 20 eggs in each bottle, and so we have 10 of them in total. Pour in 3 kilograms of flour and mix it all with a mixer until smooth. And then we made this thicker, and we will cook the cream in such a huge saucepan. We take a lot of milk out of the refrigerator. Open them up and pour them into a large saucepan. Then we put this under the burner, cover with the lid, and turn on the gas. As soon as the milk is heated, we add in 12 kilograms of sugar to it. And mix it all with a construction mixer. Without stopping stirring, pour in the thickener into a thin stream. You also need to melt 3 kilograms of butter. Pour this into the cream. And here are the remaining crushed nuts. Mix them into our cream. You gotta do this until it's smooth. It's already thickened up, so we pour it into our mold. We spread out the waffles with the remaining nut paste and put it on top of the cream. That's it, we send our mold into the freezer. Two days later, everything's hardened up. Therefore, we move on to the next step. We're gonna open up some milk chocolate and send it into a Marmite. Turn it on so that it starts to heat up, and stirring constantly, melt that chocolate. Now it's liquid, but to make it even better on the bar, you need to add some oil. And mix. It's much more liquidy now. Now it's time to get the mold out of the freezer. We transfer the liquid chocolate onto the waffles and smear it around. We keep doing this until we cover the entire surface with chocolate. Now let's put some more chocolate into the Marmite. We put a sheet of chipboard on top of the bar and press it as hard as possible with stretch film. First, we lower the form to the floor. And then we already turn it over into this little thing covered with film. Now the stretch film can be removed. Carefully lift up the mold. And tear off the parchment. And open up the film around that wooden semicircle. We screw a self-tapping screw into it and take it out. And then we remove the film itself. The extra milk chocolate pellets have already been melted. Therefore, we scoop milk chocolate with a measuring cup and just pour it all over our bar. We do one more layer. And then just let the chocolate harden. Now we just need to repeat only these thin strips of dark chocolate. Therefore, put a bowl on a steam bath, put some dark chocolate into it. And constantly stirring, melt it. Our already liquid chocolate is poured into a pastry bag. And we pour this over the bar. That's it, our giant Kinder Bueno is finally ready. I think it turned out just perfect, you guys. Well, let's cut off a piece.